Hello. Today, got a medium-sized Scholastic box here, and because it's a Scholastic box, they are perfect for regular-sized paperbacks, as you saw in the thumbnail. Pretty much what you would call middle grade size books, trade paperback size books. So let's get started. Most of these are going to be, just looking at the top here, most of these are regular books, not so much graphic novels. There's some graphic novels in here, but again, this size, while it can be used for graphic novels, especially for those middle grade YA readers, most of the stuff I think is going to be more prose and other things. For example, Penguin Classics, the portable 60s reader. I don't think I bought this. Great cover, though. You do have good covers on the Penguins. It says a literary time capsule from the decade that changed the world. Start with James Baldwin, Luther King letter from Birmingham jail, Rosa Parks, Anne Moody, Eudora Whitley, Calvin Trillin, Bob Dylan, Dudley Randall, Robert Lowell, Malcolm X, Alice Walker, Charles Johnson. That's just the first part. There are 4, 5, 9, 10. The elegies for the 60s is the last section, which is elegies for Ernest Hemingway, Marilyn Monroe, John F. Kennedy, Sylvia Plath, Malcolm X, Martin Luther King Jr., Robert Kennedy, Neil Cassidy, Janis Joplin, and Jack Kerouac. 628 pages. Easy to find. Your public library might have a copy. And if not, $16. It's not a bad anthology. Teach it both in literature and in history class. Let's do this by piles. So underneath that is this interesting edition. No barcode, no text, no title. What is this? It is a thank you for everything you have done to bring Harry Potter to millions of readers, with special appreciation for making Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix the worldwide bestseller it has become. This exclusive paperback edition of Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix is our gift to you. This is one of only 5,000 copies printed, and the cover is a unique painting by Mary Grand Pré that can only be seen on the special paperback and the hardcover collector's edition of Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix. We hope this will be a great reminder of BEA 2004. Sincerely, your friends and colleagues at Scholastic. So, I would suspect they handed this out at the Book Expo America, it's BEA, which is the big publishing trade show. I believe I found this while working at the offices of Barnes & Noble. But other than that, if you want to check, I think the ISBN here is the same as the regular edition ISBN, but it's 0439358078. Maybe we might Google this later and see just how much this is worth. I doubt I can go to Brazil on this, but wow. But yeah, they do have the special editions as well as slipcases. Those are nice. So, and yeah, pristine collection, never read. Oh. Wow, there's a second one. 2 of them I can sell if I want to. Maybe I will. But that's, oh, and there's some more, not some more of those, but other things. Let's see what else is in this pile. Oh, it's tight. Okay, I'll grab them all at once. We have Out of the Cubicle, Hilarious Office Cartoons and Memos by Sean Hoy. Off the Leash, Dog Cartoons. And again, these came through the, I believe, came through the small press office, which was just down the hall, just down the room, not how hall it was, cubicles, at Barnes & Noble offices. Off Course, Golf Cartoons. Out of the Cup, Coffee Cartoons. SeanHoy.com, by the way, is his website. And Off the Range Western cartoons. $12.95 each. But yeah, it's cartoons, so I grabbed them. Might be the only copies around it. People have in their collections. I don't know. Then, also seen in the thumbnail, selected poetry of Ogden Nash, 650 rhymes versus lyrics and poems. I always liked Ogden Nash because of the limerick. I mean, people get into the limericks, which aren't that great, but he does humorous poetry. One of which I remember is, a primal termite knocked on wood and tasted it and found it good. And that is why our cousin May fell through the parlor floor today. It's a sample. Oh, here's another nice little edition. Alexander McCall Smith, Full Cupboard of Life. You know, it's this weird visual effect, but I can actually, when I look at this, I kind of see where the tiles went. It's weird. I don't know if that's deliberate, but it just, your mind says, oh, these squares are not perfect, so that must be where the boundary is. There's, it says, this has, oh, this is an arc. The fifth and newest installment of the best-selling series, 2004 publication. So this is an ARC, Advanced Reader Copy, as they are known in the industry, ARC, ARC, Advanced Reader Copy. Not for sale, at least not originally. And this, oh, something there on the back. But again, sometimes I like to get those signed just because I figure that authors sign the same thing over again and they want to see something different. So usually it's that. Of course, then I balance my karma by donating to literary organizations to balance the karma. Free book, they didn't get a royalty, so I push that money elsewhere. Here we have The Invention of Hugo Cabret, hybrid. This, of course, is before it won the Newbery. I think it was Newbery. No, I think it was a Caldecott. Anyway, it's controversial when I did. This is a first printing from 2007. The wonderful book, movie Hugo, based on this. Brian Selznick I like. He hasn't done, he's done these hybrid books, and they're wonderful, and he's a wonderful illustrator. He even did a special edition series, actually interconnected covers of Harry Potter for 25th anniversary or whatever it was lately. You've seen them. It's black and white pencil, I think, charcoal covers. And they all interconnect. And they announced that at BEA, of course, with a huge banner over the Scholastic booth. I don't know if they ever issued the print or the poster. I think I have that somewhere. I've got him to sign it. Selznick, of course, related to the noted Hollywood mogul. Next, we have Bram Stoker Dracula from Sterling. Yes, Barnes & Noble. And I think they licensed this from... Yeah, Brian Caldwell did the pencil, is the artist. So he's American, so this might be original. $6.95, or, you know, Sterling's graphic is, and then we have the Top Shelf 2008 seasonal sampler, which does have an ISBN on the back. It's free. Top Shelf, no, not only just Top Shelf. First title in here is Alley. Good stuff. I think has since migrated to another publisher, but if you want, for pre-literate kids, that is, they can't read words yet, get that Alley. Get any silent book. That's just pictures, picture books. There's a lot of silent picture books out there. And have the kid explain what's going on with the story to you. Here is The Astonishing Adventures of Fanboy and Goth Girl. I think I showed you the arc earlier. This is, ooh, what a beautiful, that's a nice, effective inexpensive treatment for a $9 book. Is this my hidden mutant power? The ability to screw up absolutely any decent situation? I feel for you, kid. Oh, here's a nice one. And again, novel graphic from Hill and Wang, nonfiction. This is also an arc. J. Edgar Hoover, biography by, should just read the cover, right? Rick Gary. Again, read anything he does, even his strange indie comics. But his history stuff, especially the murder mysteries that MBM publishes. Here's another arc, In the Shadows. Text by Kirsten White. Art story by Jim DiBartolo. Again, I picked this up because, wow, this is almost all graphic novels. It's almost all illustrated. Let's see if we can find it. Yeah. See? There's the text. But man, a lot of this is pictures. I'd say it's more pictures than words. But that's why I picked it up out of the slush pile. And we have Had a Night When Stacy Died by Sarah Bruni. Also an arc. Quirky love story about the adventures and mutual rescue of an Iowan girl and a mysterious stranger who calls himself Peter Parker. A mysterious taxi driver. Ooh, and there's another arc. Highly recommended. Castle Waiting by Linda Medley. I don't know what she has written lately. Beautifully designed works. But basically a nice female-centric take on fairy tales. The original was in regular square-bound comic books. Right. Ooh, smooth. Graphics. I want to say mid to late 90s. But this single pregnant mother ends up in this family hedge, I think it's called, this castle waiting, which has these various fantasy fairy tale characters about in it to have her child, and also I think to gain sanctuary. This is a regular edition of Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. Azkaban. Also never read. Well, this copy not read. Yeah. I read all the books. I mean, it's from number 4 on. We did the Midnight Madness at Barnes & Noble. So, yeah. So I own all the hardcovers. Not all the hardcovers. Number 3 on? No, I read it for all the 3 in the store. Checked them out. And that was right before number 4 came out. And that was an interesting story because that time they did not have simultaneous publication with editions. So, and this was before Harry Potter was still selling. It was on the bestseller list. It hadn't become a phenomenon yet. And so Prisoner of Azkaban, number 4, comes out in England first, about, I want to say 2 months early. So I'm at Barnes & Noble. I'm working on the first floor, manning the information desk. And I don't know, somebody, an adult, comes down and turns in a British edition of Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. Somebody left this in the bathroom. And of course, you know, it was the British edition, hadn't been published in English yet, in American yet. And so we said, oh, okay, thank you. So we're hoping this girl no one comes to claim it. And of course, I think in 30 minutes, this panicky 10-year-old girl comes up. And they were reunited happily. So, and then of course we had the Midnight Mass after that. The first two, Lincoln Center was the first. Oh, this is the Kazuya Kibushi recover. Rita's Amulet, good stuff. Or Flight. Anyway, so the first two, I was working at Lincoln Center, worked all four at Lincoln Center. First two, we were the headquarters, the media center for Barnes & Noble. Later, they moved them over to Union Square, which was a much bigger store. We still had huge crowds. To the point where we actually shut off the escalators as midnight approached. So, yeah. Last one, Deathly Hallows. We had a huge crowd, went around the block 3 times. I was in charge of the reserved copies. If you reserved in advance, you got a different line, which was down in the basement through the music department. So we did that until, well, here's what happened. Union Square sold out of their copies. Borders, which was just down the street of us in Columbus Circle, sold out. So people coming up to us. And we had, well, yeah, I would say 8 feet tall. So how many stacks? Probably 15 boxes tall, 8 feet tall stacks. We had taken one of their emergency exit hallways and made a wall, 1 deep. Oh, I'd say probably 20 yards. So we had a lot. We had the deluxe edition slipcase, which most people don't really know about. We ordered those in. We had tons of the regular edition. So people kept coming into our store because we had copies. And the manager was there, hey, you want to keep selling? And we were like, heck yeah, we're having fun. Plus we're on the clock. So eventually, me being, I was a head cashier at that time, not a lead bookseller. I was one of the last ones to close that store. It was us. I think there was probably 4 of us managers. So they paid for my taxi up to the Bronx at 4 o'clock in the morning, which was a $45 cab ride. Because I lived at the top of the Bronx where the 2 train ends at that time. And then I tipped them, and then they criticized me for tipping him so well. And I said, fine. I tipped him well because I know he's not going to get a fare back to Manhattan. So they gave me a taxi fare back, and it's whatever. So I got home at 4:30, went to bed. Then I had the closing shift the next day, so 3 o'clock, 3:30, I'm back at the store. Me, assistant store manager. We spend that whole afternoon, evening, night. At most of it, I think maybe at the end we didn't, but at the beginning, for the entire day, pretty much, we had a small mission table, as they called them, which maybe less than 10 square feet of space. One of the maintenance guys brought up a truck load, flatbed of the books. We sliced them open, tossed them on the shelf, on the table, and then handed them out to everybody walking in the store. These were the people who hadn't bought it the day before, and stood in line to buy it. And yeah, that was fun. And it was a blast, and I will do it all again. I even got in the New York Times the day on my birthday for, I think it was Prisoner of Azkaban. No, Goblet of Fire. Because back then, the whatchamacallit, strict on sale regulations weren't as strict. So we were cracking open the boxes, taking out the books, prepping them with the 20% whatever sticker on it, and getting them ready for the big thing. So I start reading it. And the New York Times publisher, because New York Times photographer's comment is around the store, because again, we are the headquarters. And she takes a photo of me sitting there reading the book. So Next day, that night was the Midnight Madness. Next day was New York Times, and I'm in section B, whatever, reading the book. So that's how I got in the New York Times. You can find me there. You have access to the corporate. Never said anything to me like, why were you reading on the job, blah, blah, blah. And it might have been at that time I wasn't on the clock yet. I think I'd come in early. But good times. It's not a Century 21 store, so. Forever 21, Forever Century, whatever it is, one of those clothing stores. Another non-comics book, WB Yeats, Yachts, Irish Fairy and Folk Tales. Just thanks to Neil Gaiman, I have a thing for Barnes & Noble books. This is a reprint. I was just looking on the inside. You can just tell that it's a reprint. Originally published in, it doesn't even say, 1993 is when this was published. It's got two different issues. Maybe there was a hardcover edition as well. MCMP, maybe. But yeah, I have a thing for folklore, mythology, stories in general. Here we have Rebel Bookseller, How to Improvise Your Own Indie Store and Beat Back the Chains, Andrew Latties. Small press. This is number 5 that they published. Vox Pop number 3 to be precise, 2005. Don't know. It's a good graphic cover though, right? Don't know how apropos or how outdated that is. Okay, last pile, last quadrant. We'll start with Diary of a Wimpy Kid, The Ugly Truth. And Diary of a Wimpy Kid, Dog Days. And hardcover. So I got to check this. This is the hardcover edition of Smile. When I buy graphic novels, especially get them signed, I always try to get the hardcover. And I'm always disappointed if the author or the bookseller does not have hardcover copies. But let me see. Yep, there it is, autographed. Now, she signs a lot of books, so, but this might be my personal copy. She didn't personalize it to me, but she drew herself. So, $22. And we have, we do have some comics over here. Sugarholic, number 3. In press. Look at those pretty boys. Like musical, and will make millions. Desmond Puckett makes Monster Magic by Mark Tatuli. I mentioned him earlier. Still draws Leo. He retired from Heart of the City. He's doing memoir comics now, middle grade memoir comics. And this is a hybrid, as you can see. But it's got the strange, you can see the spot varnish on there, right? I think. Yeah, see the spot varnish there on the figure. And on what this green is, this 5th ink or something. Just, it's not weird, it's not slimy or grippy, it's just slightly fuzzy. So it has a nice tactile feel to it. So kudos to this book designer on that. Ooh, Max Allan Collins, A Killing in Comics, Murder Mystery. Matt Hampton, 1948. Wonder Guy, soaring superhero, represents all that is good about post-war America. But underpaid cartoonist Harry Siegel and Mo Schulman feel bad about publisher Donnie Harrison making a killing from their creation. Then, celebrating his birthday dressed as Wonder Guy's signature cape costume, Donnie suddenly collapses onto a cake knife Discovers the supersuit does not grant him the hero's invulnerability. The glamorous Maggie Starr is America's most famous ex-striptease artist. In a way, the diva is still stripping, running her late husband's newspaper syndicate, distributing the Wonder Guy comic strip. Stepson Jack Starr, her VP and chief troubleshooter, doesn't need X-ray vision to see Donnie's accident is murder. Together they must find a killer among cartoonists, wives, mistresses, and minions of a different sort of syndicate, suspects with motives that are anything but superheroic. A terrific writer, says Mickey Spillane. No art inside. But yeah. Max Allan Collins. Good mystery writer. This is 2007. Mm-hmm. Well, yeah. There are chapter illustrations. Let's see who does the comic book art by Terry Beatty. Hey, Terry! All right. Another friend of mine. We'll have to post that to Facebook with tag on it. Then we have here Uncle John's Bathroom Read, a classical collection of quotable quotes. Yes, I do like quotable quotes. 69. This is by Share Randomness. Page 148, 149. The American Indian Experience. Illegal aliens have always been a problem in the United States. Ask any Indian. Ask any Indian. Yeah. These are not all humorous. There's some good ones here. The Great Spirit is in all things. He is in the air we breathe, but the earth is our mother. She nourishes us. That which we put into the ground, she returns to us. Big Thunder, Wabanaki Algonquin. Love and rock and roll. The Blues had a baby, and they called it rock and roll. Like Muddy Waters. Energy is all you need in rock and roll. Energy in 3 chords. Mick Jagger. Actually, it's 4 chords. If you Google that on YouTube. Rock won't eliminate your problems, but it will let you sort of dance all over them. Pete Townsend. Rock and Roll Hall of Fame was a great idea when it started, but I think they ought to close it. I think it's full. Neil Young. I got fed up with all the sex and sleaze and backhanders of rock and roll, so I went into politics. Tony Blair. So, I love, not quirky, but unusual, fun to read reference books. Next book, Zounds, pardon my language. The Browser's Dictionary of Interjections. Da-da-dee-da. With copious cartoon commentary by Sergio Aragones. My kind of reference book. Oh, this is an art too. Now this is going to come in and slam the copyright on it. Great Scott. Odds are this one was named for Old Fuss and Feathers, General Winfield Scott, Brigadier General at 28 and hero of the Mexican War. Known for his confident swagger and predilection for colorful uniforms, Scott, who ran for president on the Whig ticket in 1852 and lost to Franklin Pierce, was loved by many and ridiculed by a good many others. Great Scott may also have been influenced by the pious German greeting Grüß Gott. Greetings, groovy, jive ho, chiggers. Chiggers, fuzz at 3 o'clock, pulling up to the donut shop. I ain't wait, those cops will be in there for hours. Jiminy Cricket. Pasadena. Let's pass on the script for film producer speak. Shazam's in here, and they list the. All right. Toga, touche. What's the last word in here? First word is not acknowledgments. Oh, wow. The 8 classes of interjections. I did not know that. They didn't go into that in the cartoon. Hey, yeah, an abracadabra, an action, an ah, and aha. Going and ending with, we'll do all the Z's. Zoinks! Zoinks like man. Cheekies. Rakes roll. I wonder how they came up with that. Who wrote that? Zounds. Yeah, questions. Zoot allures. Yeah, it's always good to do interjections in front. Zip. Zip. We're on here. So anyway, spot illustrations for. Here's a good page on hello and ahoy. Great talent. And in the bottom, another arc. Diary of a Kid Do-It-Yourself book. Wouldn't that be cool if Jet Kinney filled one of these out and then auctioned it? That would be just. Oh wow, there's a lot of on the back here. Oh, what's your story? That's cool. Last half of the book is blank notebook pages. What's your story? Autographs. Practical jokes. If you had a time machine, unfinished comics. The biggest mistakes you've made so far. Oh, you think that's bad? Just wait, son. Wait till you become an adult. And 30 minutes later, we are done. Hope you enjoyed that. Hope. Anyway, that's that. I might do another one later tonight. It's 24th of August, roughly 7 o'clock p.m. Thank you for watching. Thank you for sharing, commenting. What other words are there? Anyway, thank you again. Don't know who you are until you comment. I know I have some subscribers. But again, thank you for participating, for sharing your time with me, for wasting 30 minutes of your time watching this video. I appreciate it. The nice thing is, because I don't have that many viewers yet, there aren't any ads built into this. So, one less annoyance you have to deal with. Anyway, that's it for now. I'll see you soon. Thanks. Bye.